Back to Major League Baseball right here on the early line. Joe Raineri and Donnie Rightside right here on the SportsGrid Network. You want to listen to us, you want to watch us, easy to do. Make sure you get that SportsGrid app. Download it today. Follow all of your favorite hosts and handicappers here on the network. Easy to do. Great app. Keep you in the know. It's the way we do it, which means we got to keep you in the know about Major League Baseball. The Yankees, wow. What a victory yesterday. Finally in the win column. Felt like they were on 60 wins for an eternity. Get their 61st win of the season. A 3-2 victory over the Texas Rangers, which again saw Paul Goldschmidt hit a solo home run in the top of the 7th inning, and that was enough for the 3-2 victory. The Yankees, a much-needed win yesterday, Joe.
Yeah, and maybe more importantly, Donnie, that they might have actually found their closer. Which they might not have done, given the fact that I believe Boone wanted to take him out, but Bednar, you looked at him and said, absolutely not. You're not taking me out here, because he came in and you mentioned it, right? An inning and 2/3, he had to get 5 outs, and it didn't start off great with a couple of runners on, but Boone let him stay in, which is kind of crazy, and then he ended up delivering. So maybe the best thing about what happened in that win yesterday is that they now actually know who their closer should be, because I think we can all agree it ain't Devin Williams.
Yeah, past few nights, pitching really isn't their problem there, even though Devin Williams did blow that game. The Yankees' bats have been a little bit cold here as of late. And granted, Texas does have some decent pitchers, but Leiter went yesterday, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 2 runs and 1 earned off. But also, credit that bullpen for the Yankees for holding up. Leiter Jr., Hill, De Los Santos, and Bednar. No earned runs given up after Rodon gave you a solid start, 5 innings and 2 earned runs on the road. Everything worked in the Yankees' favor. But I do like where you're coming from, Joe, to start the show. It would have been easy if they won 20-1. It's like, okay, but it is nice where you get that victory where you actually had to earn that in high leverage situations and say, you know what? We can do this, Joe.
Yeah, and you're doing it to a team that is on your heels right now, because I think the Yankees now just a game and a half ahead of the Rangers for that third and final wild card spot. So, that was, a playoff style game that both teams wanted it here, as the Rangers are trying to catch the Yankees and the Yankees are trying to catch the bleeding. But the more questions the Yankees can answer to themselves in this next couple of weeks with some wins, Donnie, the better off it is. You need to know you can win those games, those kind of grind them out games. You can't win every game, 15-2. Like, you have to be able to count on your bullpen, and you have to know who your closer is, Donnie. And to this point, we're in August and we had no idea who the Yankee closer, the number one guy, who is the Rivera of that bullpen that's going to come in and shut it down. And I hope that Bednar showed yesterday that maybe he can be that guy.
Yes, absolutely. And maybe he can be that guy. Maybe Devin Williams can get it together, just hasn't got it together yet as a New York Yankee. But if we look at the division landscape here, particularly in the American League, you look at the Toronto Blue Jays in the East, still with a 4-game lead over the Red Sox, who finally lost a game yesterday. But also Toronto stays hot. Those bats are absolutely cranking right now. They have won 3 games in a row. The New York Yankees still 6.5 games back. But if we slide it over to that Central Division. Remember that old Rockwell song from the 1980s? I always feel like somebody's watching me. Now, the Guardians have a chance to catch the Detroit Tigers. They're now within 6 games. This is a team supposed to be left for dead, making major changes at the deadline. A couple pitchers kicked off at least till the end of the month, it feels like, for gambling on their own team. Could they catch the Detroit Tigers here, those Guardians?
I am praying, Donnie, that the producers behind the scene clip that little little doohickey song you just sang there, because that was absolutely that was gold. Absolute gold. Really nice. I kind of got chills going up and down my arm right now. So can anybody catch them? Listen, the problem here is that I feel like the American League is still up for grabs. And to me, there's a half a dozen teams on that list, Donnie, that can get hot over the last stretch, last 6 weeks here. And we might be going, wow, well, didn't see that coming here. I feel like the National League's a little more top heavy, where we have a pretty good idea of who's going to be there when it's all said and done. I think it's still anybody's game in the American League here. And I think any one of those teams right now, you see the Guardians getting hot now. The Rangers are finally starting to live up to the potential. Are the Astros going to take a step back? Could very well be. I'm expecting that as well. So I still think the American League pennant wide open, and you can get some pretty good prices for some teams who could very well get red hot and ride that right into a World Series appearance.
Absolutely. And by the way, you want a little quick trivia on that Rockwell song there? There's a super famous singer on that song that was friends with Rockwell that sang the hook, but didn't want any credits and didn't want to get paid for the song. Do you know who that singer was by any chance, Joe Raineri?
I believe it was MJ, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was MJ there. So
it was
kudos, though. Classic, absolute classic.
Just hooking his boy up there. It's like, oh, that's Michael Jackson's song. No, it isn't. Isn't that Michael Jackson? Check the credits. Oh, he's not listed anywhere there. So a little bit of trivia there that the young pups need to know. That's what we bring you on the early line, which includes the West out there at the Houston Astros. They lost yesterday. The Mariners have won 3 games in a row. 2 games out now. Rangers 4 games out. But I like where you're going here. It just feels like it is a NASCAR race where everybody is packed together with equal opportunities to win coming down the stretch, Joe.
It really does. And some of those prices, Donnie, are I don't know that you're just, does everyone expect Toronto just to continue this and run away with the best record? No, I do not here. I think the American League West is going to be a battle till the final week. I don't think anybody is catching the Tigers. I think they're safe, although it does appear the Guardians, boy, just think about the Guardians since the All-Star break and what they have done and how they have now at least made it feasible that they can catch a team like Detroit if they go on a losing streak again. So, they were in no man's land. We had written them all off a month ago here, the Guardians, and yet you get hot and look at that. It doesn't take long, Donnie, before all of a sudden the tides turn. And I still think we're going to get a lot more of that in the American League before it's all said and done.
Yeah, you see that graphic right there, leading the American League right now in the odds market. It is the Detroit Tigers. I mean, look in the NL. Let's just say it's the Los Angeles Dodgers and maybe closely, we'll get to them with the Philadelphia Phillies. Like, okay, like that sounds about right. I still see the Detroit Tigers up at a plus 350, and it's not my fault. Like, they're a good baseball team. But now that you see that they were running away with their division, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 games up, they cut that in half. It's now the month of August. The pressure starts to build. It seems like a paper tiger at the top of that odds market right now, Joe.
I've been saying now for weeks, I do not believe in this Detroit team in any way, shape, or form. Great story. But when we're talking about representing the American League in the World Series and then possibly winning the World Series, yeah, I'm not buying Rafael Montero. I'm not buying Kyle Finnegan. I'm not buying this lineup. And with Riley Green, who can't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Like, this is it. They don't appear to be a championship lineup. What they are was a team that started off the season and won a ton of games and took advantage of a schedule. But that's going to run out of steam at some point. I don't think you're going to go toe-to-toe with some of these teams on that list.
Yeah, you don't look at these teams like, oh, Detroit can't beat them. Toronto can't beat them. Mariners can't beat them. Astros can't beat them. There are a lot of question marks on a lot of those teams, which keeps it fun, which is why they are so stacked up. But if I was just looking at one team, Joe, right, in the American League and say, give me that horse that you want to root for, that's fun to bet, and you think can do some damage, maybe the Seattle Mariners getting it together here, 5-1 price, trying to track down the Houston Astros, Joe.
Why not? Any one of these teams is still in play. I don't think we'll cover the National League coming out, Donnie. But to me, the National League, we can point to 1 or 2 teams and say, that's where it's going to be. You can't point to a team on here and go, absolutely, that's going to be your front runner, because it certainly isn't Detroit, despite what the market's saying.
Need a lot of respect here. By the way, those Texas Rangers, which took the series against the New York Yankees, they opened up a set against the Philadelphia Phillies with Zach Wheeler. Got his start pushed back, maybe not feeling so good in that shoulder. The Phillies are telling you don't worry about it, but that's a huge series for the Rangers to try to get out in that AL West race. More Major League Baseball coming up next. Shohei Ohtani time. Let's talk about him. Los Angeles Dodgers, they're not panicked here. It's not like the Yankees situation. Oh, no, we fell to first place, second place, now in the third place, and we're fighting for a wild card. We expect the Dodgers to be there in the end-all, be-all. But yesterday, we had a 5-3 victory, not by the Los Angeles Dodgers. It was by the St. Louis Cardinals. And why was this a big game? Well, Shohei Ohtani was back on the mound after leaving his previous start, Joe, with a little bit of fatigue, maybe cramping in his hip or leg. This start actually saw him get stretched out a bit. 4 innings pitched in this game. 4 innings pitched. 54 was the pitch count. 2 hits, 1 earned run given up, which is fine, but 8 strikeouts here. He was really good. At the plate, he hit a home run. You tell me Ohtani started a game, Joe Raineri, had 8 strikeouts and hit a home run, and the Dodgers lost to the 58-58 Cardinals? What?
Yeah, bullpen, which has always been the issue here. We knew he was going to go 4 because we know the Dodgers are going to look to stretch him out over the month of August in his starts to get him ready for the postseason. And true to form, he looked at times just absolutely unhittable there. To go 4 innings and strike out 8 is a pretty good ratio there, Donnie. But to do it and then go to the plate and be able to give yourself a lead as a pitcher, it's just not something we're used to seeing in Major League Baseball. We've not seen that for a very, very long time. And this guy, the guy's a unicorn as far as I'm concerned. He's a Halley's Comet. Guy comes around once every 75 plus years. That is just that much better than everybody else. It truly is. Enjoy it. Don't take it for don't take advantage of it. Don't forget about. Watch this guy so you can say that, yes, I remember when what possibly could be the greatest two-way baseball player in the history of the game. Yeah, I remember when he was with the Dodgers.
Exactly. He's a great baseball player, and this is why sometimes we talk about, usually, the smartest man in the room is the odds maker, right? Like, okay, he makes the odds here. House is always going to win. I just have no idea where like the odds market goes at times when we talk about the National League Cy Young. And if you guys have watched this network, and I know you have, for 3 months, I just keep saying it's over in the National League. Shohei Ohtani is the MVP. He does what nobody else can do. He's going to be just as good a hitter as anybody else, and now he is on the mound and he's being stretched out. So we have those minus 220s, minus 240s. Now we're at that minus 1450 price, which means, look, he's the favorite to win it. And I keep saying this should be minus 14 million as a price point here on Shohei Ohtani. Schwarber, love you. You hit 70, you'll be in the conversation. You hit 55, you're not in the conversation here. Ohtani's going to win this award. And as Joe was just saying, this is something that we don't see in Major League Baseball. And I'm telling you the next couple of years, because if Ohtani is healthy and is still a very good hitter and still pitches, he should be the NL MVP for the next decade with nobody even coming close to being in the running. But here's what we're going to do, similar to what we do with Nikola Jokic. 20, 15, and 13. Boy, he's really losing his grip out there. Oh, really? A center getting a triple-double every single night. He's losing his grip, and you got to give it to somebody else. And it's going to turn into, well, Ohtani pitches. That's not fair. You can't hold against the other Major League Baseball players for not pitching and hitting at the same time. We're going to get to that point. Ohtani is so far and away the best player in the National League. Again, it should be minus 14 million for him to win this award, not minus 1450.
No, it's not even close. And unlike his fellow former MVP there, Aaron Judge, who now all of a sudden the odds have plummeted there, I can't think of anything. Even if he doesn't, let's put it this way, Don. If Ohtani doesn't play one inning the rest of the regular season here, he's still your MVP. Yes. It's bar none to me. So, I mean, here we are with, 6 to 7 weeks left in a regular season. And guess what? He don't play another game. He's still your MVP here. Nobody's catching him.
Like, you look behind the scenes, too. Like, again, it's not one MVP like in the NFL. It's like, okay, who's the MVP? I'm like, oh, man, maybe Mahomes, maybe Jalen Hurts, maybe a guy from the NFC, maybe a guy from the AFC. It's individualized where it's American League and it's the National League. It would be fun to see, though, where Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani both healthy down the stretch, what that can be. But it's not. Like, Aaron Judge is going to win that award in the American League, but like Kyle Schwarber's having a fantastic season. But also understand this, Kyle Schwarber is just a DH as well at this point. Now you have Shohei Ohtani's the DH, but now he's pitching every 5th day. That sort of wipes Kyle Schwarber out of the market. Pete Armstrong, love you. Having a great season in Chicago. You're not an MVP. Neither is Manny Machado, Juan Soto, or Kyle Tucker. Great baseball players, but there's great and there's absolutely elite. And that's what Shohei Ohtani is. Like, where does he wind up on the season? Like, what statistics would you give Kyle Schwarber, Pete Crow Armstrong, or Manny Machado the MVP over Ohtani? Specifically, Joe, if Ohtani is now, all right, you saw me for 4 innings. I'm going 5 innings or more right down the stretch in a playoff race. I don't see where this number, it's so low right now at $14.50. But most of us, Joe, aren't going to lay $1,450 down to win 100 and wait 6 months to get that back. But if you had that money to put away, he's your guaranteed MVP, barring disastrous injury.
Correct. Even then, I mean, the argument, there is an argument to be had that says, you know what, I wish he was just a hitter. Or if that's only where his focus was, or if he was just going to pitch and how good he could be from that standpoint. Yeah, the problem with Ohtani is that he is so good, he needs to be an everyday player. And you can't say that about a lot of guys, Donnie. I mean, they don't have that option of pitching every fifth game. This guy does, and he's going to be doing it for some time, provided he stays healthy. And if the injury is his arm for some reason, he's still going to hit 40, 50 home runs a year. He's going to drive in as a leadoff batter, Donnie, as a leadoff batter. That's what he is with the Dodgers here.
Let me ask you a question, too, about Ohtani. Like, what is our game plan for Ohtani? Like, obviously not being the manager or the general manager of the Dodgers. Is that plan to get him 5, 6, 7, maybe up to 8 innings and being a full-time pitcher down the stretch? Or is it, we got a good thing going right now. We use him every fifth day. We don't want him throwing 100 pitches here because we can't risk him damaging his elbow where he would have to get surgery, which means he can't even be a hitter at that point. What would you do with Ohtani? Just let him go in this progression and say, you've always been a pitcher and we'll stretch you out to 7 innings? Or do you keep him sort of under a little bit of a belt here?
I would do exactly what they're doing every year. I wouldn't put him on the mound until late July into August, stretch him out and make him available for every postseason run that you're going to be available. I don't need him pitching in April. I don't need him pitching in May, Donnie. I want him pitching July through the postseason, and that's it. That's exactly how I would handle Ohtani from this point moving forward.
By the way, he's got really good stuff on the mound. Does he ever transition, Joe, to the bullpen and just close games out? Because your career can go so much longer and only throw 15 pitches a night at that point. More hot topics in Major League Baseball next, right here on the Early Line. Right back at it here on the Early Line. Major League Baseball today, not a huge card, Joe Raineri, so you really have to factor in what you want to play and what angles you want to take. There's a game at noon today, right underway, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 6:40 and 7:15, so it's spaced out nicely, Joe. How are we feeling about Major League Baseball? Only a 4-game card today.
Yeah, and actually, we got a lot of number one pitchers going today for teams, so maybe is there any value in fading some of these guys? We're going to have to check it out.
Always tough to take Pittsburgh full game anytime, and sometimes it's even harder to take him when Paul Skeens is on the mound. Donnie, what are you, crazy? He's the best pitcher they have. He's probably going to win the Cy Young in the National League. Not so fast. I don't think he's either going to go 9 innings. So if you leave with a 2-1 lead and leave it up to that bullpen that no longer has guys like David Bednar, things could get tough here. But let's set the table for today. 9:51, 9:52. It's the Reds and it's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Singer going up against Paul Skeens. 6:40 start tonight in Pittsburgh. A -180 price overnight. It's downshifted a little bit. You'll see the graphic come up. It's a -172 price. But right now, live, 178s to -170s, depending on where you're shopping at. And a total, Joe, that's listed at 7.5 and 7s, depending on where you're shopping here. Not a lot of runs expected tonight. Pittsburgh is expected to win. But are you foolish to bet Pittsburgh full game when you say, you know what, I'll just take my chances? Pittsburgh run line first 5 and deal with it here. What do you think tonight between the Reds and the Pirates?
Listen, in his brief career so far, Skeens has pretty much just dominated the Reds in every way, shape, or form here. The problem with Paul Skeens and backing him so much is the fact that, yeah, he could probably go 5 innings, have a 2-0 lead. The bullpen of Pittsburgh gets involved, gives up a 3-run home run, and it's 3-2, they lose. And that's, rinse and repeat here. The big question to me is there any value in looking at Skeens dominating him once again? And I think there is. I think if it ain't broke, we shouldn't fix it. I do not trust this Pittsburgh lineup to get to Brady Singer, who hasn't been terrible. But at the same time, it's the Pittsburgh lineup. We know the Reds aren't going to get the Skeens. They have not yet to this particular point. 3.5 is the first 5 total. This has got 1-0 heading into the 6th inning written all over it, Donnie, once again. And that's exactly how I would play it.
Yeah, just keep it simple here. Skeens is the better pitcher on the mound. Yep. What if he gets blown up? What is that? 5 innings pitched and 2 earned runs, which Pittsburgh still could have a lead at that point. But no way I'm going to take that full game here, knowing that they'll probably have a lead and hand it over to the bullpen. Then it's out of your grasp at that point. Now, let's go up to the Pacific Northwest here. The Seattle Mariners. We put on a little bit of offensive show yesterday, dropping 8 runs in their game today. They're going to take on the Chicago White Sox once again. Shane Smith is on the mound going up against Logan Gilbert. You look at the lines here, -255 overnight. They're gone. -290s and -295s out here, depending on where you're shopping at, and a total of 7.5. Logan Gilbert is a strikeout machine. Smith, not really a great pitcher, 18 1/3 innings pitched over his past 45 days. His ERA, 9.82. So there you go. Almost a $3 favorite for the Mariners today. They'll probably win this game, but the question is, do you want to lay that price?
No, I don't, but I'd be willing to lay a much cheaper price and expect Logan Gilbert to get the win in this game here. No way do I trust this White Sox lineup. This is the final game of a long road trip for them. It's a getaway game, no less. So I do think maybe the White Sox doing a lot of swinging and missing here, and Logan Gilbert should have no problem getting the win. I believe every game this series, the other two starting pitchers both got wins, and they did it rather easily. 8-3 in the first game, 8-6 yesterday. I do think that backing Logan Gilbert to get the win at -110, -115 is a better opportunity.
Yeah, Gilbert's last 45 days, Joe, 43 innings pitched here. By the way, a 3 xFIP number, which is very good. ERA is slightly higher, but his Ks per 9, 12.14, the best on the card. That's even better than Paul Skeens over the past 45 days. Miami and Atlanta here. Atlanta just playing out the string. Miami's lapped them. Obviously, the Phillies are way higher. Same thing with the New York Mets. Carlos Carrasco's on the mound going up against Yuri Perez. Yuri Perez has been a decent pitcher here on the Major League Baseball season. By the way, just his last 45 days, Joe, 1.64 ERA. A struggling Atlanta lineup, a slight favorite here for Miami, which tells you everything you need to know. The Marlins are favored on the road against the Atlanta Braves around a -120 price as it sits currently. 8s to 8.5, depending where you're shopping at for the total. But Carlos Carrasco, one of those pitchers that's just looking to earn a paycheck. And the reason I say that is Atlanta's not bringing up any other arms out of their minor league system to start their clock in Major League Baseball. They basically said, we're going to pick up Fedde and Carrasco, innings eaters, bombed or not bombed, just go out and pitch so we don't have to waste any of our arms in the minors. Whenever you have a situation like that, there's no way I'm betting them. I'm backing Miami today in this game. I think they take care of Atlanta. Joe, how about you?
Listen, I might even go into the alternate market here and say, you know what? The advantage I have with Yuri Perez starting this game over Carrasco is absolutely crazy. And it's worth maybe taking a risk of maybe laying 1.5 with Miami in the first 5. Yuri Perez has got a 1.06 ERA over his past 6 starts. They're rolling out Carlos Carrasco because they basically have nobody else, and he got lit up, I believe, the first start that he had here. And listen, this is an important game for Miami. They got a chance to get back to 500. That's a big deal for a team that most people thought was going to be one of the worst in Major League Baseball. They're a young team. They're in the wild card hunt, and they have their ace on the mound. I would look to try and get plus money in a big way in the alternate market with the fish in the first 5 on this one.
I think they hit tonight. I think their lineup sets up pretty well against Atlanta. And again, I think you have the better pitcher on the mound. Yuri Perez, not a guy that a lot of people talk about. He's a very good pitcher there for the Marlins, particularly this year. We'll see how it plays out. But Atlanta fading fast. Maybe the Marlins, a little bit of fun. They'll play spoiler down the stretch here with Atlanta season already spoiled at this point. How about a 12:05 tip time here, as I like to say? 9:57, 9:58. Lopez, the lefty, versus Parker, the lefty. Yesterday, let me down. Sacramento scoring 1 run yesterday. It's on your boy DRS's you-know-what list at this point right now. They're favored again today to win a -134 price in a total that's listed at 9 across the board. Parker is my worst pitcher on the card today. Last 45 days, which included 37 and a third innings pitched, Joe. How about a 7 ERA and a 5.60 xFIP number? The Athletics did not hit yesterday. Their lineup doesn't present great against lefties, but this is a terrible left-handed pitcher. I think the A's probably take care of business here, but sometimes hard laying a price on a team so far away from home on a getaway day in the early afternoon in the month of August.
Yeah, the A's were so exhausted after scoring 16 runs and 24 hits on Tuesday that they felt, they were just, their arms were killing them. But prior to that 2-1 loss yesterday, they had actually won 5 straight, I believe, on the road. And when they score a lot here. So Mitchell Parker is coming off a game in which he got absolutely destroyed by the Brewers. The Nats have allowed 54 runs in 4 games previous to yesterday. If you add the run yesterday, that's 55 runs in 5 games. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Lopez has been really good sneakily for the Athletics here. Call me crazy. The Athletics all day long here in every way, shape, or form over the Nats.
Yeah, one of those games where I needed the A's to get the 3 runs yesterday. I was like, "Ooh, this is good. 1-1, bottom of the ninth inning. We'll just head to extra innings. You could pick up a couple runs there." And of course, Washington got the leadoff double yesterday, and then a single to left field with 1 out, which drove in the winning run. And away you go into today. But a quick turnaround for those two also. But the Athletics, I do think, handle their business today and do get some base hits. So 4 games today. One starting at 12:05, one starting at 4:10, one starting at 6:40 and 7:15, and then also preseason NFL football action on the docket tonight, which leads us right into Friday, a football Friday, a full Major League Baseball schedule. But the one thing we talk about a lot too, Joe, is like the have and the have-nots. If you look at the 4 games today, one is the haves. It's Seattle. One is the have-nots going up against them. It's the White Sox. We're talking about a minus 300 or so price at that point. The other games, though, Paul Skeens on the mound, minus 178 to minus 180. But the other two, really coin flips between Miami, Atlanta, and the Athletics and the Washington Nationals. Good card. We'll see how it plays out tonight, though, Joe.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you got a lot of number one pitchers here going today. Getaway games, which are always interesting, but maybe some K props worth a look as well.
Maybe more props on the way as well. Cam Stewart going to join us next. SportsGrid's finest. We got him right here on the early line. Come on back and join us after this short break. For me, I'm going to go on the baseball diamond today. Last game on the card tonight, 7:15. That's the Miami Marlins and the Atlanta Braves. Yuri Perez is on the mound. He's better than Carlos Carrasco. Carrasco has struggled in Major League Baseball, just trying to fight his way back. This is a dead team walking in the Atlanta Braves. I have a lineup today that should be able to hit Cookie Carrasco, which includes Kyle Stowers. His last 68 at-bats against right-handed pitching. How about a 509 ISO and a weighted on-base percentage of 563? Let's keep it simple tonight. Atlanta is fading. The Marlins still trying to play with some energy down the stretch. I'm getting a cheap line here. Minus 118 price on those Miami Marlins to knock off the Atlanta Braves tonight at 7:15 down in the Big A. So we got a football pick for you, a baseball pick for you tonight, a big football weekend, a huge Friday card of Major League Baseball to get to tomorrow, Joe. So we have the table set. We just got to let the people eat now.
Yeah, that's it. Going to be a huge weekend. And we got a couple of more intriguing preseason games tomorrow as well, Donnie, as we head into this first weekend of the NFL preseason schedule. Looking forward to those as well.
Yeah, usually we don't get lineups released this early in the morning, but we do. How about the Athletics lineup released here? Langoliers, Kurtz, Rooker, MacGyver, Soderstrom, Hernandez, Thomas, Urias, and Schumann in the lineup with Lopez on the mound.